All right. Hello, my Teaserking family. Sorry about that. The internet does what the internet does. Love the digital, right? Electronic. Imagine if that happened to your money. All right. So I was in the middle of going through the NFL. Part one has all the gold economics talk and the college talk for today, and the first half of the pros. I'll pick it up at Tennessee and Cleveland. Um, Tennessee, the Z team with the 28, Cleveland, a under team, well, a Z team with prime and 34. Probably an under. They're not good. They're good defense. So a Z team has a bad defense. The line is 4 and 33.5. Ward against Prime Junior. Play against Tennessee 25 and 4, but it's hard to use because that includes last year. The temperature 32 degrees. So be careful there. It's a hard play. Normally, we like Cleveland under. We had them under. I think they played Oakland or something last week, or San Francisco, and it was an easy under. So you're not going to see too many points in this game. You don't have an NFL quarterback playing. Cincinnati, Buffalo, 5.5, 53.5. Cincinnati over team with the 33 defense, but Joe Burrow back, and Buffalo and E with 22 defense. So we got Burrow going against Allen. So you have two NFL quarterbacks in this game. Play against Cincinnati as a road dog, 7-1. Play against Buffalo as a home favorite, 4-0. Buffalo is a 11-2 as a home favorite. 25 degrees, no snow, no wind. So just a cold day, but obviously Buffalo's used to it. They play there, and Cincinnati plays in the cold also. So I think Joe Burrow is always a live dog, getting 11.5, 12. And I think the over 46, 45 is also a live play, as it should be like the Lion game yesterday. You're not stopping Joe Burrow with Buffalo's defense, and Buffalo is not stopping. Buffalo is not stopping Cincinnati. Let me see something. So I'm going into my page to see what I did on this game. Okay, I do have them played. All right. So it should be a good game. Should be high scoring. Seattle goes to Atlanta. Seattle 744.5, up from 43. We've got Darnell going against Atlanta with Kirk Cousins. Oh my God, Mr. Choke himself. Seattle an 18 with the 15 defense. Atlanta an E with the 24. Seattle just shut out Mini with JJ McCarthy, 26-0. Or no, it was the other guy, Rosemer or something, who on a fourth and 1 at the 5, instead of kicking the field goal in a 3-0 game, they go for it with a quarterback who's never played before, and he doesn't want to take the sack. It's 4th down, so he just throws the ball right to the Seattle cornerback, and he goes 90 yards with the touchdown. Brosmer. So J.J. McCarthy is nothing better. So here we got Kirk Cousins, who we know stinks. Seattle, great defense, 15 defense. And they have to win because they're in the mix with they're in the mix for this is why we look at the standings. So now you've got LA, Seattle, and San Francisco. So Seattle has to win. You're playing Kirk Cousins. Okay, the flight to Atlanta, we're not happy about, but Then again, we got a 15 defense, and they're going to run the ball with Walker from Michigan State. So, um, Penix, we'd worry. Cousins, where do they get this guy from? Denver goes to Oakland. Denver is 7.5 and 40.5. We got Bo Nix, superstar, going against Geno Smith, wondering how he got into the league. Denver's a B team with an 18 defense, and Oakland a Z with the 25. They played to a 10-7 game in Denver in the sleeper game. Oakland's just terrible, bad offensive line. How they played them to 10-7, I don't know. Denver just finds a way to win the games if it's close, and that's where we got Sean Payton. Sean Payton wins you the game here. So you're only laying 7, which I think is a joke. An 18 defense against Oakland's 25. Denver 28-2 in a teaser the last 2 years. 5-0 as a road favorite. 12-0 this year. They haven't lost in a teaser, much like Houston is also 12-0 in a teaser this year. Play against Oakland as a home dog 8-1. So why do I play teasers? See, but I'm a super advanced teaser player. Somebody who doesn't understand teasers, or just sees the 6 points, doesn't really know how to play them. But where I get it is I look at this teaser trend, which nobody has but me, because nobody's thinking like me. So in other words, you just look at the games, you go, oh, there's whatever. They're 9-3 in the play. But I'm being advanced. I'm looking at teaser trends, and I keep it by years. I go all the way back to 1990. And so you see the teaser trend and you go, oh, well, let me see. So you're kind of leaving emotion at the door, as we would say in Ocean's 11, where I'm letting the numbers, I'm bringing the emotion, but I'm looking at the numbers also. So here Denver's 28-2 and 12-0 in a teaser this year. Yeah, that's probably a good bet. And they're playing Oakland, who's a Z team. So this is the right game. Now, does Denver need it? Denver needs it for the 1 seed. New England's 11-2. They're 10-2. As far as winning the division, they still have San Diego 2 games behind, and Oakland and Kansas City's like 4 behind. So they're looking to clinch the division. They're not going to let up, and they get Oakland in a dome, so that's going to help. Bo Nix always he seems to struggle in the first half and then finds it in the third quarter and then blows you away. So again, do we think Oakland can win the game? We don't think they can beat anybody. They lost to Cleveland, didn't they? So we think Denver needs it for the 1 seed. So they have the incentive. They'll play. Who did Denver play last week? Denver beat Washington 27-26 on that Sunday night game, but they won it. That's closer than it should have been. But they still, when they needed the touchdowns, they got it. Now, okay, Washington, but they had to travel. Now you've got them at Oakland, and it's a much easier game than Washington with Mariota scoring Geno Smith. So look for Denver to be live here. The total, I don't know. You would think maybe it's an under because basically Oakland can't score and Denver's got an 18 defense. LA goes to Arizona. LA is 8-47.5. Down from 48.5. We got LA, an A team, 14 defense. Arizona, a W with a 31 defense. So we go, how the hell did they lose to Carolina? Well, let's look at Carolina's defense. They had a 31. No, that was the score, 31-20. They had a 23 defense, and they put up 28 on them. Stafford had 2 picks. They looked tired traveling across the country. Here, they're only in Arizona. They should be better rested for it. It's only an hour flight from LA. But here you get Arizona with the 31 defense. Stafford should have a field day. Good defense, 14 defense. Arizona's not all that. So we got Stafford going against Arizona. Brissett. How is Brissett even in the league? He really wasn't that good at Florida. I don't get it. Teaser trends. LA 26-5 in the teaser the last 2 years. 8-1 as a road favorite. It was 8-0 until they lost last week. 6-1 play against home dog, and 6-1 play home dog as Arizona. Play against Arizona this year 11-1. So you've got the Rams. Okay, they're off of a loss, but they're tied in the league now. They can't lose this game. So they're tied with Seattle in a game up on the Niners. They went to the Niners and beat the shit out of them. So it's not like they can't play on the road. Arizona's just terrible. What did they do last week? Arizona. They lost to Tampa 20-17. So they are somewhat competitive. Again, I think it's the low spread here at 8 that LA, but LA really needs the game, and Arizona is really not a good home dog. Well, they're 6-1 against and 4, but 11-1 against this year. 8-1 is the Rams are 8-1 as a road favorite, and 26-5. So the Rams are fine on the road. Like I said, they killed the Niners. If you bet against Arizona, they might be close games, but they lose them all. So 11-1. So again, the Rams need the game to win their division with Seattle and the Niners breathing down their neck. The Cubbies play the Packers. I'm reversing my baseball where I call the Cubs the Bears. The Packers 6.5, 44.5. Number hasn't changed. We got Caleb. We've got Green Bay Love. It's 12 degrees there, 13 degrees, but no snow, just cold. But both teams are used to it. Green Bay plays there. Chicago, they don't play in a dome. That's why the Lions never win. They play in the dome. And so when it gets cold out, they got to go to Chicago in a few weeks, or Green Bay, or they go to Philly for a playoff game, or Minnesota. I mean, they're just not equipped to handle the elements. Chicago an over team with the 24 defense. So they've been scoring with Caleb. Green Bay's an under team with the 15 and Micah Parsons, even though they played Detroit 31-24. 6.5, 44.5. The only trend I could see was Green Bay 11-2 as a home favorite because Chicago's got a new coach this year. So there are other trends, and I'm really only looking at trends 85% and higher. So when I give you these 11-2 is 85%. So Green Bay, very strong as a home favorite. The Bears have been playing well. They went to Philly and won. I don't know what that means anymore. Caleb, we know he sucks, but they've been running pretty well. Green Bay, their guys, Jacobs has been, his knee's bothering him. He's playing with a bad knee. Micah Parsons is the equalizer here. Can he shut down their running attack? We will see. But the Bears are playing line ball. It's all run, run, run. They ran for 250 on Philadelphia and Jalen Carter. You got to be kidding me. Nobody runs the ball on Philadelphia. So I don't know. There's a lot of the Detroit offense, and Green Bay's seen that and beat that. Green Bay at home. Chicago's playing well. I think they're a live dog, and I think I don't know. I like the over until I see it's 12 degrees. And so I'm not sure what to do with 12 degrees. Probably an under. A lot of passes will probably be dropped. It'll be hard to score. The Bears, 24 defense. So I don't know because the Bears have been playing the weak schedule, except for when they beat Philadelphia last week. But that's last week's game, and that's the key to it. That's what screws you up. You see what they did last week, and you go, oh, they're going to do that again this week. And then they don't. Hey, Greg and John. Wow, my internet froze up, and I don't trust it to wait till it comes back because I think then I lose it. So that's why I come back. Yeah, it frustrates me because I'm in the middle, and I've got the audience, and then now they got to come back and find me part two. And I really can't tell them I'm doing part two because they're either waiting for part one or they're just They go, what happened? So they don't. Do they know to look for this? That's the problem. So I don't know. I think Chicago. I don't know if they're a live dog. Green Bay should play well. 12 degrees won't bother them as much, but it will because they pass the ball a lot. Houston goes to KC. KC 3.5, 42.5. Houston, the under team with the 19 defense, and KC, an E team with the 21. Uh, this is Stroud is back going against Mahomes. As you saw, both teams need it. Houston's game back of the winner of the Jacksonville Indy game, and KC is in big trouble. Are they in big trouble because they're not that good, or they're playing the killer schedule, right? It's probably the schedule. Houston, an under team, KC and E, 19 defense at 21. Houston 9-0 as a road dog, 28-3 in a teaser, 12-0 in a teaser this year. KC is 13-1 as a home favorite, 23 degrees temperature. So Houston's used to the heat and inside. They're going to go outside. KC's used to the weather. Do I take Houston in 9.5, seeing that they're 28-3 in a teaser, 12-0 this year? Not ideal to take Houston against Tennessee, yes, or the Jets or those teams, but at KC, it makes it hard to take Houston as a dog. But KC's not been playing well. They just lost to Dallas. You saw how Dallas looked last night. So KC at home will play, but they're going to struggle against this defense. So we will see what to get out of it. In our last game, Philadelphia at San Diego. Jalen Carter is out. Their all-pro defensive line hurt something, and he's out, but it's not long-term. It's his shoulders, I think. Philly 2.5, 41. So they went down from 3 to 2.5. Total goes up, which makes sense because Jalen Carter's out. Play against Philly this year, 11-1. Play against as a road favorite is 5-0. So Philly's struggling this year. They're not covering. They're not good. San Diego, a good home dog. Both teams with an 18 defense. Philly's an under team, generating no offense, and San Diego B with an 18 defense. Sometimes the offensive line gets hurt, and then you blame, Barkley's not playing well. Well, the offensive line's hurt. So we will see. But that's where I get from that. So teams in a teaser that are really good: Denver, Houston, New England, and Tampa. New England's off this week, but you see Tampa there. Denver and Houston are the teams that are like 12-0 this year. So it makes it hard not to bet on Denver. And then it's really, you want to bet Houston, but you got to respect Mahomes. So maybe you do, maybe you don't. Teams that are terrible, New Orleans in a teaser, bet against the Giants, who are off, Philly, as we just talked, Arizona, the Jets's, and Tennessee. So in the New Orleans game, you've got Tampa, who is a good teaser team, going against a weak New Orleans team. New Orleans play against as a road dog 10-1, but they're also bad overall. Philly, San Diego. Philly play against Arizona, against the Rams. The Rams are pretty good, coming off of the loss and needing the game. So now we start coming into phase 3. You played most of the season. Okay, the first phase is who are they, the changes. You're looking at them against, not playing in the preseason. So the first 2-3 games are preseason games, but everybody's playing. Everybody's pulling their hamstring because the coaches are too stupid to play as players because they don't want to get hurt. Look at the Lions. They got half the teams hurt. Yeah, but they didn't play. They didn't get hurt in the preseason. They got hurt in week 1 and 2. But I'll tell you, Hutchinson looks like crap. He Well, I thought he hurt his leg again yesterday. They showed a play and he's lying on the field and he's grabbing for his leg and you're like, yeah, probably shouldn't be out there. Um, uh, Tennessee's gets Cleveland. You can't really play that, and the Jets is at Miami. So you can play New Orleans, Tampa. You can play Arizona and the Rams. So as I was saying, so the first is the preseason. Then you get into the middle chunk, weeks like 4 through week 11, let's say, where they're jockeying for position. You're seeing how they are against good teams and bad teams usually, how the new team looks. And then we get into phase 3, which is from now till week 18, which is now they need it for the playoffs. Now it's, the Rams, Arizona, the Rams, Seattle, and Frisco need the game to win their division, to get into the wild card. Teams like Detroit yesterday needed it, but so did Dallas. Um, we look at Chicago Green Bay as a playoff game now. You've got other teams. Pittsburgh Baltimore is a playoff game, even though they both sucked. It's a playoff game. This Philadelphia San Diego needs Denver New England playing for the 1 seed. So now you've got different reasons that they play. Now, how do you formula that, you analytics people, you analog algorithm people? That's where I don't think you could ever AI or analytics football betting, because you have to then, how do you fit that into the formula, and how much weight do you weigh? How much do you weigh the injury? Lamar's hurt but playing. How does that weigh into it? I'll take 2 points off because Lamar maybe is hurt, or Joe Burrow is back. Well, I can't look at the Cincinnati stats with whatchamacallit, with Flacco and with um, the other guy. I just need the Joe Burrow stats, which he played in 2 or 3 games. So that's the difference that I can quickly see that the analytics algorithms can't. How can they possibly know that? They can't see that. So that is your thing. So I'm giving you a second chance free play, which is Tampa Bay, which fits in the teaser trend, which they need the game for the playoffs. They're like a half a game up on Carolina of all teams, which has the easy schedule, but they beat the Rams. So you're very confused. I don't think there's any really great team. There's some good teams and some bad teams, and average teams. So like Carolina is like an average team. They're not a good team. They're a little better than a bad team. And then the Rams are good, but they're not great. They're the best of a weak league, and so therefore, when they lose to Carolina, you shake your head, but you can understand that they're not really that good. But how are they going to react to the loss? And they need the game. So that's what we're looking at. All right, let's take our last look at gold and see if it bounced back. And it did. So first, let's look at the gold. So gold is at gold goes up to 42.55. It looks like, and goes all the way down to 42.05. So it goes down $50. And then it's kind of sneaking its way back to 42.09. So it really doesn't fall below 42. And you see, it was just this last half hour from 9:30 to 10, where it went from 42.30 to 42. So it went up $25 in 20 minutes, and then it goes down. And that's part of the game. They jump it up so they can short it. I mean, it's such a stupid game. Why it's allowed, it's totally illegal. It's ridiculous. All right, let's see what silver did. So silver goes all the way up to 59.30. At the same time gold's going up, silver's going up. Coincidence, I guess. And it goes from 59, let's call it 30, to 58.20. So it goes down a whole dollar. And then it starts to creep back up. So now it's 58.42. Now we saw it at 59. Why did it not hold? the demand took it up to 59. As we've seen from all these guys, there's no silver left. It's busted. COMEX is busted. Silver, there's none left to deliver, and everybody's going right to the mine to get the silver, and they're all out. COMEX is out. What the fuck's going on? So who is shorting this? If they don't have silver to buy it, what are they doing with the price? So here's where you got to think fifth dimensionally, and what they're doing with the price is getting it low to buy it or to cover. What I think's happening in the US is they got to cover when they do short it and China buys it and Russia buys it and they say, I want delivery. They need the price down so they can buy it to deliver it, because they have to deliver the gold and the silver. So they have to deliver, which they don't have any in COMEX to deliver. And so that's the problem. So we're at 58. I don't know, 58, 52 we'll go with. And 42.11 gold right now. So that's fine. I mean, gold was, we're getting near 4,300. I don't know what the games are played where they sit there and well, we can't let it get to 4,300. People might think the dollar is gone. Dudes, it's over 2,000. Everybody realizes it by now. So again, these are games that COMEX plays to buy. Although even though it's at 42.11 and 58.53, I think people are already figured out that they can buy. Silver did move quickly once it hit 38 and got to 40. It blew through 40. It went to 50. It's blowing through 50. So there's a little resistance. So when it hits 60, there'll be a little resistance at 60, and then it'll 65, 70, and then little resistance. So every round number, 60, 70, 80, 90, there'll be a little resistance when it hits 100, and then it'll start blowing. Hopefully they start pricing silver like gold, where it's up. Gold gets up $100, silver goes up $1, or silver's up $1.40 today. It should be up $60, $70 in a day like gold does. So anyway, that's what we have there. So just keep buying and really understand COMEX is there to keep the price down so they can buy it, because they got to cover when the countries, China, Russia, ask for delivery. You've got to pay them, and they ask for delivery of the physical. They don't want your money because they know it's worthless. So as more and more people, as all the BRICS know the dollar's worthless, they're all going to jump in and buy COMEX, and they're going to buy the silver that way, and they're going to come in and want the physical delivery, which they don't have, which is why COMEX is broken. It's really a paper market, and when you start bringing in physical, they can't handle it. So that be it. I'm going to watch Mark McGuire. I don't think he's got some strange guest. I don't know where he find this guy at. Anyway, probably not worth watching. So again, your free play now. We hope to do better than yesterday is Tampa Bay -2. Your free play in college is Ohio State under, with Indiana a 7 defense against an 11. I did play 2 games today. There's the Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. Kennesaw State 2.5, 59. James Madison 23, 47.5 to Troy. UNLV Boise. Boise's up 5.5, 59. And then North Texas plays Tulane. North Texas 2.5, 67.5, which I think's high. So those are your 4 today, and then tomorrow we'll look at tomorrow. But it's BYU, Texas Tech, Miami of Ohio Western, Georgia, Alabama, Indy against Ohio State, and Duke, Virginia. And then Sunday will be the pros, which we just talked about. So again, keep your eye on the injuries. Is Jalen Daniels playing? Do we got, let's see, Tampa Bay, is Evans playing? I think we got a running back. They got to make their move. They're at home against New Orleans. Washington is Daniels coming back against JJ McCarthy. It's pathetic. And the sad part is Minnesota drafted him in the first round. They are incompetent as hell, Minnesota. Oh my God. Tennessee, Cleveland, you got Ward and Prime Jr. What a joke that is. Burrow and Allen, there. Seattle, Atlanta, Darnell, Cousins, Bo Nix and Smith, Denver, Oakland, LA, Arizona, Stafford, Brissett. Oh, I didn't fill in Philly. Jalen Hurts against Herbert. Chicago, Green Bay, very good game. Caleb against Love. They're about the same. They both stink. And Houston, KC, a very good game Sunday night. Stroud against Mahomes. 23 degrees, but it's Sunday night. It'll be less. So that's what we have. So again, www.teaserking.com. You can have my week picked for the week for $100. If you just want the locks, they're 75. And that's it. You can buy the month. I'll have the bowls and college playoffs for $100. You get all the bowls and all the way through the college thing. And if you want to buy the rest of the year, send me an email. We'll see what the price is. Maybe $250 for the rest of the year through the Super Bowl and all the college picks and everything. Anyway, that's what we have. So good luck. Yeah, it's disappointing the Dallas game yesterday, but again, I'm not 100% and I'm very frustrated. I didn't go over, which I normally do with the Lions. But I didn't go over with them Thanksgiving. I had Green Bay and they won. Maybe that skews you, when you do that and they win, you kind of go, oh, I can take Dallas. They should beat them. I thought Dallas should have been favored in the game. I was surprised Detroit played different than they had the last. They didn't play that way against the Giants. They didn't play that way against Green Bay, and they didn't play that way against Philadelphia. So again, they're two-faced, as Batman would say. So have a good day. www.teaserking.com. I'll be on tomorrow at 10 because we got the noon games. So I always am on early on Saturday to discuss those. And then I know once the game starts, everybody wants to watch the game. So it doesn't make sense. So I'll watch some more. There's a bunch of silver videos, Andy Scheckman and all these other idiots, and they just don't get what's going on. China and Russia are buying up all the gold and silver. COMEX is cheaper. That's why they're going to COMEX to buy it. They want delivery, and there is no gold and silver there. So the U.S. has to buy it to pay off the delivery of these options that are asked for delivery for the gold and silver. It's not that hard to figure out. By the way, inflation is about 1,000%, not 2 or 3%. We're in a recession. Just be careful. All right. Have a good day, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Thank you very much.